All right, let's take a look at the information that will be provided to you in the email trade alerts that are sent out. So again, once I've identified a qualifying trade, we will notify you of that trade via an email and text message alert. Here's what the email looks like. So when we first take a look at it, you can see there's an awful lot of information there. So let's talk about the details that are included. Obviously, the ticker symbol of the stock that we are sending out the options trade on the alert. In addition, we give you the alert date, so you know the date that it was actually sent out, and the alert type. Are we opening, closing, adjusting? What are we doing to this position? We notify you through all of those different scenarios. In other words, if I open a trade, adjust it, or if we're closing it, you get an alert for all those scenarios. And the strategy type. What trade are we using? What options trading strategy are we using for this individual situation? Next, we get the actual trade details. So the details in the trade. Again, what are we doing? We're buying to open this leg, so you get the details for each leg. How many contracts? The 1X means one buy or one of, in this example, a call option, and then the option expiration. And there's a lot of different expirations now because we have a lot of stocks that have weekly options. So you can have monthlies and weeklies. So in order to try to avert any confusion on whether it's a monthly or a weekly, we give you the exact date. So what's the date? In this case, it would be the July monthly option, but you get the actual date, so there's no confusing there. And then the strike price for each leg. So we are buying to open, in this case, one call, the July expiration month of the 1280 strike of Google, and then we are selling to open one of the calls for July expiration on the 300 strike. Then you get the recommended price, which is the net price. It's the difference between what we're spending to buy the call and what we're receiving on the call we're selling. So what's the net price? And then also whether or not it's a debit or a credit. Sometimes we may do credit spreads where you're actually receiving a credit. But in this case, it's a debit order, and so it gives you the net debit that you'll receive. And then I make a note of commentary on what we're looking at, why we wanted to enter this, and what's expected from the stock over the time frame that we will be in the trade. Next, we have a link where you can click and go to the website. So you go to the website where the trade details will be there in addition to a current chart of the stock. And again, if we're opening, closing, or adjusting, there will be a chart every time we send out an alert. It will be loaded into the website with a chart of that current situation. And so from the email, you can just click right there for the details. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second, but before we get there, there's a special note at the bottom, and this is important. When placing any position, especially a multi-leg position, if there's no fill within the first few minutes, begin to move the price until a fill is realized. Now what that means is that put it in, if you're choosing to follow along with this one, at the price that we send out. If it's not actually filled at that price, then you might want to start to move the price a few pennies either way in order to get that trade filled. So a few cents one way or the other until you actually get filled. The reason for that is if you put a trade on and it doesn't fill immediately, then things can start to move, and you might in a short period of time get a large move in the stock, and then by the time they fill you, the price is significantly different, and we want you to get in at roughly the price that we get in, and we will show the actual fill price on our website. So let me give you a quick example of what it looks like on the website when you see the actual trade details, or click on that link to take you to the trade details, and you can see here the summary, the Google long call spread, the entry date. You scroll down and then you get the example that you just saw where you get the pertinent information, and then there's the chart. So that's what it looks like. So when you click on that link, it takes you directly to the website so you get all of this information. And again, we do that for opening, any adjustments, or closing prices. And I think that at least what we've been told over time is that is a really great benefit for people to see and understand why they're getting in. One of the things that we want to do here at Elliott Wave Options is not just send out alerts, but to educate you as we're doing this, so you understand, you can learn what we're looking for, have a greater understanding of Elliott Wave, and the plan is for you to earn while you learn. Again, welcome to the family.